Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Beatrice Hippolyte and this is your world. Today we have the privilege to have with us one more time Father Rigaud Lucon. Last time Father Rigaud was with us, we spoke about grief. Today we're gonna speak about a very special topic.
Thank you, Dr. Beatrice, for having me once again in your wonderful show, and hi to everyone. Our topic for today is a very important topic called anxiety around the holidays.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And why that topic is important?
Well, before saying why, let me just elaborate for my viewers what anxiety is not, right? Anxiety is not stress, it's not worry, it's not depression, right? Because as you know, stress is generally a response to an external factor, any trigger, right? And that can really impact someone's, but that will eventually go away when the problem has been resolved. That's why we don't pay too much attention to stress, by the way. As a matter of fact, stress is a good thing, you know. We need some stress to better perform at work and any task that we are having. And also, too much stress breaks us down, but some stress increases performance, and too little stress keep us stuck, right? So we need some stress in order to move forward effectively. Worry in and itself is not that bad, by the way. People who worry are those who care, right? But worry becomes a problem is when it becomes unmanageable. Now
Out of hand.
That's what happened. Then now we say, you know what? It keeps you awake at night. Now that might lead suddenly to anxiety. So in that sense, anxiety is now an external factor that causing you to worry constantly or worrying too much about so many things that will adversely impact your daily functioning, meaning your relationship, your work performance, and whether it's your romantic, all these things all together. Now, sometimes we tend to confuse anxiety with depression, right? Because of there are so many factors that are very common between the two.
Yeah,
it's
yes,
very
indeed.
difficult sometimes to differentiate anxiety from depression. Well, put it that way. If we were a battery, for instance, when the battery is just like 50% charge, it's like you have just reached the bar here, maybe 60%, now it's kind of anxiety, it looks like. And when the battery is below 50, now when you're out of charge, that's depression here. So anxiety has to do with all the future events, right?
So basically, anxiety, when your anxiety level is not being treated or addressed appropriately, then that can lead you to depression.
Correct, because as you can see, they are all interconnected. Stress, worry, anxiety, and depressions. But the two extremes are depression and anxiety. Depression has to do with the past. You get stuck in the past here. You feel like, you see when you use all these words, should off, cooled off, wooled off, you wish that you could undo the past. Mm-hmm. That's keep you stuck in the past. Meanwhile, anxiety has to do with the unknown, uncertainties, future situations, right? It's like you are worrying about things that might happen, but in reality,
haven't happened.
But it may never happen, right? So that's why anxiety is sometimes hypothetical.
Okay.
So they are not based on facts. Mm-hmm. They are not real problems to begin with. But it things that might happen in the future, but may never happen. Now, all this requires clinical attentions. Mm-hmm. That's why we clinicians, we do address anxiety and depressions, right? For today's talk, we will focus more on what they call anticipatory anxiety resulting from this holiday celebration. And I'm trying to make it more, inclusive here. Talking about holidays, I'm not talking about only Christmas here. I would like to include the Kwanzaa and also the Hanukkah. Christmas is for the Christians, right? We are preparing. By the way, today we begin with the Advent season. That will lead us to the Christmas celebration 4 weeks from now. But the Kwanzaa celebration is the celebration that is used for the African American. They use that celebration to celebrate the cultural heritage values from the culture. It starts right after Christmas, that on the 26th of December until January 1st. It coincides in a sense with Hanukkah that falls around the same time, one day after Christmas, right? So whether you are celebrating Kwanzaa, whether you are celebrating Christmas, whether you are celebrating Hanukkah, all these wonderful celebrations, they always bring about anxiety. Yeah, that's what we are going to talk about today. So I've learned those things by the way from my clients. For instance, anticipatory anxieties, they come from social and personal expectations, right? The demands there are so many causes of that. And again, remember, they are anticipatory. We are thinking about what might happen. In reality, that may never happen. For instance, some clients are saying, oh my God, my mother is coming for the holidays, for Christmas, for the holiday season. I don't want to deal with her, right? I don't want to be around her because she will be talking too much about my family business. And already thinking about what will happen around Christmas season.
If your mother comes,
the anxiety is already on the roof. So that's why we are going to talk about that today. We're going to give some tips how to go about these celebrations and how to make that celebrations not only about people and stuff.
I know that you mentioned some causes.
Yes.
But what the triggers could be?
There are so many causes. For instance, we have around these holidays too many responsibilities, right? And we have to cook, we have to decorate the house, we have to buy stuff. And sometimes we do have some unpleasant memories surrounding these holidays, right? And sometimes blaming yourself and others when things go wrong. And it's a lot of, external factors, triggers that causes people really to feel anxious around these holidays. So this needs to be addressed again. We have also more causes as well. Let me see what I have here. And again, some people, they are moving away sometimes from family and friends. I'm talking to the immigrants, right? By the way, talking about the immigrants, not too long ago after the election of November, the result, right? There were so many clients that came to therapy talking about what might happen after January 6th, right? With all the news, fake news on TV, on radio, they are freaking out because they might lose Uncle Joe, they might lose Auntie Janet. All this thing, already creates a huge surge of anxiety among the people around this holiday.
We don't know for a fact whether this or that will be happening.
Correct.
It's just like people speculate.
Correct.
Correct. About, what, this may happen, that may happen, but at the end of the day, so we're not dealing with what people are saying.
Correct. So all these causes sometimes may cause people to use some unhealthy coping mechanism, right? Coping mechanisms are the tools that people use to overcome their emotions. But when they are healthy, like, do some deep breathing, mindfulness techniques that can help you solve that one. But meanwhile, because holiday celebrations bring about so many, festivities, and other food and drinks together, food and drink will be available for people, and they will sometimes eat more than they were supposed to, and drink more than we're supposed to. That can lead, to very adverse impact on their mental well-being, also physical wellness as well. So all these things will be the result of filling the gap or feeling good sometimes, or to soothe themselves as self-medicating around this holiday.
And what was society expectation plays in it?
Well, remember, these holidays, basically, they are not really focusing on what they are meant to be. For instance, let's talk about Christmas for the Christians and Hanukkah for the Jewish community, right? And also the Kwanzaa for the African Americans. So they are focused not really on these celebrations themselves, but on consumerism, right? It's like buying stuff. The focus now is more on people, stuff, and what people expect of them. That's a locus here. People, expectations, and stuff. So we are living in a society where consumerism is what drives people. People are driven by consumerism. It's like buying, shopping all the time, especially those who are not in a healthy relationship. Sometimes they feel so lonely. There is a void inside. Empty. So they are trying to compensate with that, and seeking for happiness or joy of the season where that joy cannot be found. Buying stuff. They buy stuff, and after the holiday,
and sometimes stuff they don't even have a need for.
That's what happens. They might have gifts, they never unwrap it around Christmas, but the problem is they are looking around to get stuff and to feel good. Mm-hmm. That's what happens around Christmas. That increases people's anxiety. Not knowing what to do and how to please others and to meet others' expectations.
And financially, there is a stress component associated with it as well, because while people may be looking forward to spend money, to buy stuff here and there, oftentimes they may not have the financial needs to do so.
And added to that, what about wasting time and energy to look for gifts for someone? When you send that gift to that person and they show no appreciation of that gift, it's that the gift is given but not being received. It's so painful that can lead right away to depression. That means I'm not being evaluated or accepted. All these things can really increase. Again, to get the gift itself, is he or she's going to like it? Is sufficient already to increase that anxiety around this holiday celebration.
But you believe that it's important or necessary for people to really embrace the idea of giving somebody a gift, even if they don't have the financial means to do it?
Well, what we do know, Christmas, for instance, is a time of sharing, giving away, right? So we give, that's a tradition sometimes. We try to stick with traditions, right? Mm-hmm. We give away as
and there's
a way.
Nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely. I mean, I do love my Christmas cards. I do love my Christmas gift as well. But it's not what holidays are all about. So the point we're trying to focus here, I want to invite the viewers to focus not on the world expectations, but on the meaning of the holidays.
Okay.
That's having the focus on the holidays themselves, that will decrease your anxiety.
Okay.
That's one thing I want my viewers to get about it. What are you celebrating? What is the purpose of Christmas for you Christians? What is the purpose of Kwanzaa for the African Americans, right? What is the purpose of Hanukkah for the Jewish community? What is the essence of the celebration? As opposed to how to please people around it, how to make others feel good and around these celebrations.
Yeah, so it's like there's nothing wrong, to try to make someone feel good, because it's a good thing. If I come and see somebody who may be in need to step in to make you feel good. So it's a wonderful thing to do, but I must have the capability, both emotionally and financially, to fulfill that need that you may have. But if I don't have those resources, it's okay that I don't offer anything because I don't have it.
That's a good point that you just made here. Giving is a wonderful thing. As a matter of fact, the one who gives receives more joy than the one who receives, right? So when you give, it's a way to, you give out of gratitude. You say that, you know what, if I've been so blessed to go that far here, I am not the best, but it's all grace. So now in your turn, you become a source of blessing for those around you, right? That's why you give. That's why we encourage people to reach out to those who are less fortunate, in our communities. Remember, with that spirit of Christmas itself, and people are expecting stuff, especially among children, right? Children are expecting to have some gifts under the Christmas trees. I mean, it's a must for them, right? But not every parent can afford that. And that's why those who have, it's a wonderful thing around Christmas to reach out to your neighbors, those next door, those who are not that fortunate, to allow them to celebrate, a Christmas, having some little gifts. That's a good thing as well, in the spirit of sharing and celebrating Christmas.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that in the Catholic Church, you're a priest. And I've seen it in few Catholic churches that I normally go to. Around Christmas, they will have the Christmas tree, but with no decoration.
Correct.
What they will use little cards.
Correct.
With kids, not their names. They sometimes put the age.
Correct.
And ask the community or the parishioners to buy a gift for those kids.
Correct.
So, and I always take great pleasure and joy to do it because I know if I'm able to put some smile on a child's life, that will brighten my day or my season. And I think it's a good practice, for the church to do because it's like you have the entire community. There may be people coming to church who have kids and will not have money to provide their children with any present around the holidays. But they know that they can count on the church that they attend to help them get a little something to put a smile on their children's faces. So it's a beautiful thing, and I encourage that.
And also, we not only think about children as well, we think also about those who are in shelters too. So in my churches, we used to collect items, good stuff, by the way, and we can send them to different shelters in the city. And we send them in a way that we say to them, we think about them as well. And we send clothes, we send, all the basic needs that they need so that they can also celebrate a Christmas, with dignity as human beings.
And there are some very good nonprofit out there who around the holidays will put bags together. So many times I was privileged to volunteer, to help put bags together. So, and they put whatever that they can possibly collect from people and to just put a smile on people's face because it's important, to be present.
To be present
in others' life.
Absolutely, it's a way also to coexist with others.
Yes.
Being with others, volunteering and helping to make a positive difference in the life of those around you throughout these holidays. It's very important.
So, if you were to describe some symptoms, of anxiety around the holiday, what that will be?
Well, the symptoms can be to each his own. There is no one size fits all. For what works for me may not work for you. or anxiety can manifest in so many ways, and for some others, during these holidays, of course, will be their social events, you know, dealing with Uncle John or Auntie Janet, what I'm getting from my children, my husband, that can lead to some constant worries, worries, and also that can also lead to some physical symptoms like heartbeat, right? Heartbeat, and other people might say, "Oh my God, my mind now is going 90 miles an hour, right?" Your mind is racing. These are some symptoms that you can experience during the holiday. Also, it could also be you are so hyper alert, right? It's like you are on the fight or flight mood, because of the constant worries and trying to do things to make people feel happy around these holidays.
And last time you were with us on the show, and we spoke about grief, and you mentioned like the loss of a loved one, how that can create some emptiness into the entire family, and around the holiday, that can also play a major role.
Absolutely.
Now you're gonna have to deal with those empty tables.
Yeah. It's like it's not only the loss can be physical, and also non-physical loss as well. For instance, let's say that a couple who happen to be divorced this year, right? Or it's the same thing as a widow as well. It's going to be the first time I'll be celebrating Christmas without my husband or without my wife, or maybe the one who is mourning the loss of a loved one. That would be the first time we'll be sitting around the table with an empty chair, right? So in that sense, yes, that will change the meaning of Christmas for those people as well.
Or your kids can go away for for college, or got married.
Correct.
Move to a different city. Now, as a family, you cannot be together for this holiday, to celebrate.
Correct.
As a whole. So that can bring some anxiety as well
and
for
also
both the parents and the kids who are
absolutely.
away.
And isolation during these holidays is very prevalent as well, and depression as well, because not having people around to be with, you tend to isolate yourself, right? As you said, isolation is detrimental to the body, just as you smoke 6 packs of cigarettes a day. So my advice to all the people during this holiday: don't be alone. You don't have to be alone. Even when you live alone, you don't have to be alone. That's why you can find ways to reach out to others. If you are alone, you can reach out to others. You can even volunteer yourself. Go do, because there are so many organizations right now, they are trying to reach out to others, and go do something positive. And I was watching during Thanksgiving in the Bronx at Pastor Al, he had a center over there for Thanksgiving dinner. And I heard so many people saying that, "Oh man, my kids are all the way to Georgia or California. I have no family members around. So by joining those people here, I feel like I have a family." You don't have to stay at home alone in isolation because you have no one around. Or is it also a time?
But that can be a choice. If this is a choice that you want to make, just to be home alone because, hey, you want that me time.
Absolutely.
By all means, so you can do that. Like for Thanksgiving, I choose to stay in bed until 12. That's how I wanted it to be. But I was not depressed or I was not anxious. I didn't even cook that day. But I just wanted to have that moment for myself. And if it is, something that somebody want to experience, by all means, the person can experience it. But like you said, not to isolate yourself. No. Because if you feel that you panicking, you stress out, and you anxious, then that's not a good thing. Like Father Rigaud said, find somewhere to go.
Find somewhere to go. And even it's a time you can also treat yourself, right? Treat yourself. If you receive no gifts from anyone,
It's
get
okay.
yourself a gift. No, get yourself a gift, And also, if nobody invites you to come over for dinner, go to a restaurant. Go out. Do something for yourself, right?
And it doesn't have to be fancy.
Man, you can go to a Starbucks. Just do something for yourself, Don't stay in the house, because isolation is not a good thing for the mental itself.
And when you go out, so, one way or the other, you're going to find somebody to engage
Absolutely.
with.
Even you have nobody to engage with, by sitting, you will be observing people, enjoying life, laughing. Remember, joy is just contagious, right? By witnessing people who are so happy, you will also share their joys as well. It's better than to go out to meet with others as opposed to stay at home alone.
Or you can go to the mall and do window shopping.
Walking around, that's a way to get yourself out, during this holiday. And also, like you just said, you can also try to have your you time. If you've been working, nights and days, you might say, you know what, my plan for this holiday is to reboot myself. You stay home, you have a plan. That's the whole thing. You need to have a plan for this holiday. In that plan, if you are in a family setting, for instance, you discuss with your husband and wife what are we going to do? How are we going to plan this holiday? And people will be inviting you right and left. You can't say yes to everyone at the same time. You might choose to say, you know what, we're going to out just twice during the entire holidays. And we'll do Y or Z things for ourselves. And you should be able to take control of your holidays. And there will be time you will have to say yes. But other times you have to say no without feeling guilty. Saying no without explaining yourself, because after all, no is a complete answer, right? You don't have to over-explain yourself as to why you can't make it. That's a choice that you make. By having a plan to navigate these holiday seasons, that will give you some control over yourself. Remember what anxiety is all about? It's the fear of losing control of something or someone, right? Having that, you set boundaries right there for yourself. As a matter of fact, every time you say no to someone, you say yes to yourself.
Exactly.
Therefore, take ownership of your holidays and to focus on the meanings of these holidays.
Okay. How the anxiety around one holiday can impact family relationships?
It's a great deal. One thing I just mentioned before is blaming each other. Let's say that, remember, we have so much to do during these holidays celebrations. Sometimes family members, they have the higher expectations of each other. And I say to my clients all the time, why you think that your family members are pushing your button all the time? Because they made them. They created this button for you. They know exactly how to tap them and to get you to where you want to get you. So do not allow that to happen. Let's say that you are cooking, a dish, and the dish gets spoiled. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You made a mistake for that dinner. I mean, you will make it better next year.
Yeah.
So allow yourself.
People will survive.
Of course. Allow yourself, give yourself that permission to make mistakes. If it happens, say, well, I'm sorry it happened that way, but next year I promise I will make it better. As opposed to feel guilty, to blame yourself, to feel like you are a failure, you are this and that,
And it's supposed to be okay too, Father. Let's say, for example, I know family members who have that mentality to gather for every holiday at some at a different family member. Let's say, for example, if the rest of the family wanted for that Thanksgiving dinner or that Christmas dinner to be held at my house, and for whatever reason I'm not there, I'm entitled to say no, not this year, right?
Well, this is what they call traditions, right? I mean, I'm not.
No, when I say no, I cannot, make my house available because sometimes people may have things going on and not yet ready to explain
Correct.
everybody. So there may be something going on where I cannot really gather people around for this time. But if I say no, I cannot have that event be held at my house. So that should not be an issue.
It shouldn't be. Remember what I said before. You are entitled to say yes or no, depending on what you plan around this holiday. What if you plan something else around the same time? So you have to give priority to whom first. First thing first. That's why I said we need to have a plan as we go around these holidays to decrease anxiety. Know exactly what you want to do and how many events you plan to attend to begin with. If you check your list, say, okay, I'm going to attend Auntie Jenny, a dinner today, and Uncle Jeff over there. The next day, the rest of the time is for my family. You call it the day.
And why you think it's important to make a plan or to have a plan?
Because when you have a plan, you have a sense of control.
Okay.
Because remember, anxiety is about fear of unknown and uncertainties. When you lose control of something, of someone, you go crazy, right? And the mind is going 90 miles an hour. But when you're planning ahead, you have a sense of what is next. That will give you, autonomy over you and over your emotions.
And I think, that will give you control over your spending as well.
You have a budget as well. That's a good thing also, in that planning, have a budget. You say, okay, for this holiday, I intend to spend X amount of dollars. When it's spent, you call it the day. Because after all, you have to have a budget. Because like I said before, sometimes during these holidays, people tend to feel lonely or depressed. So they are trying to compensate, by doing shopping, especially now with the online shopping now. You don't have to go out. So having the credit card, they are buying stuff right and left, and stuff that they don't even need.
Yeah, that's the worst part of it.
And at the end of the day, when the holidays are over, they have to pay the credit card back, plus interest. And at times, they spend more than what they are making. That increases their anxiety, right? Making a plan. In that plan also, you have to...
So now if I put around the holiday, if I plan to spend $200, for example, and I already know, okay, so I'm gonna only attend 3 events or dinner or gathering. So you cannot just show up to people's house without bringing anything.
Of course not.
Even a bottle of wine.
Of course
so
not.
You have to bring something when you get invited, either for dinner, for any event that you are invited. So you have to bring something. Yeah, it's courtesy. Thank you, Father. And I said, you know what? I'm going to spend $20. So after I spent those $20, so I should be comfortable. And if there is any other event that may come along the way, to say, you know what, I'm going to excuse myself because I don't want to bring that pressure into myself, to keep on spending and sometimes even spend what I don't have.
Yeah, the point is, what is the purpose of these holidays? We have to go back to square one. What is the meaning of what you are celebrating? Is it about spending money or finding meaning in what you are doing? It's very important. Sometimes
that's a good question.
Sometimes people go above and beyond because they miss the target. They think, let's say, Christmas is about shopping and giving gifts or receiving gifts. It's not. Those are elements of the celebrations, but they are what make Christmas what Christmas is about. Right? So it's like you are putting some pressure on you that those pressures are not necessary really, because they are not really even part of the celebration itself. That's why people go crazy about Christmas doing stuff, and that's why in January we'll have a huge waves of clients joining therapy because they are so overwhelmed. They spend so much money. They've been to too many dramas with family and friends, and they can't cope anymore.
And I've seen people, Father Rigaud, who just for putting a Christmas tree together will get stressed out or develop a lot of anxiety. Because bear in mind, so whatever Christmas decorations that you purchased last year, this year you go to the store, everything will change.
Absolutely.
It's new decorations, and they want to buy those new decorations. But if you have the means, the financial means, to buy new Christmas decorations for your Christmas tree, by all means, go and add to whatever that you had last year or the year before last year. But if you don't have the financial means, it's okay to use what you had.
Keep it
because
in the box.
You save them somewhere. It's in the back, somewhere in the attic or the garage or the basement. You still have them. So I don't care if when I go to Father Rigaud Presbytery to see a huge Christmas tree with all new decorations that came out this year. So it's okay. I'm like, Father, it's beautiful. I really like it. And I keep on moving. But whatever that I had last year, I'm going to use it.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to bring any stress of getting new things every year. And that's a mentality that I've seen people are going through. So they like, I don't know what it is. It's like to please others, because you should be doing it to please yourself, to please your family, not to really please everybody around you, because there is no such thing as pleasing everybody around you.
This is also another types of anxiety called ambient anxiety. People pleasers. They are doing things just to please others. And now with that consumerism, it's a matter of buying. If you look at on TV right now, all the advertisements, it's about Christmas shopping. So it's like we are being forced to buy things even when we don't need things. It's like everything must be new, brand new.
Yeah, that's
it's the
mentality
brand
of
new,
when you...
but in reality they are the same thing.
chaos.
They are the same thing refurbished or with design. But the same material would be used again. But they make you believe that you have to be up to date. You have to get it. If not, you are not celebrating the spirit of the holiday. And that's why it's very important during this time to be mindful.
Very much so.
To take care of your mental health. And I have some tips I'm going to share with them, my viewers as well. When we spoke about spending holiday alone, don't do that, right? You can reframe your expectation of that. Again, give thanks and also connect with gratitude with others. Seek out, of course, connections, stuff like that, and treat yourself. Treat yourself. I can't even stress on this. Feel your feelings, right? That's holidays, what you also must take care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
And in that spirit, I'm going to give you some points to how to be your very best self during these holidays. Very important. It's a time also not only to shop all the time, shop around. It's a time to pause and to think before committing to any responsibility or social events, right? And decide what you can really handle. Sometimes saying yes to everything will lead you to burnout, right? You don't need that. If you are part of a couple, like I said before, family members, discuss plans before committing to anything, right? Because we're going to have so many things going on at once. Give yourself permission to feel whatever you are feeling during this season. You allow yourself to be that, and during that time of Christmas, to feel yourself. If you feel like you said before, I don't want to join any events tomorrow, you stay at home. But it's you who decide that. You're not staying because you feel depressed, you have no energy, but you choose to that time. That's my me time. You want to treat yourself, and we both are doing this holiday.
That's my way of celebrating the holiday.
Correct. You have your own way to do it, and these are things you can do. And also, time management is very important too, right?
Very important.
Because we have so much to do, and before you know it, we still have to go to work no matter what.
Other than that, so you won't be able to
Absolutely.
pay, whatever bill that you put on the credit cards, to buy all the gifts and Christmas decorations or holiday decorations. You won't be able to pay them back if you don't go to work.
You got it. So in that case, time management is extremely important, right? So when you are able to create your own to-do list, you will have control of your time. Because everything cannot be an urgency. It just can't. Some things
must be priority.
You have put first thing first. What is first, you get it done. What is important, not urgent, can postpone for tomorrow. What is not urgent and important can be delegated to someone else. That's why you can ask people to come over to help out. Let's say you have to send 300 cards out. Well, you cannot write it yourself. You can invite a friend to come over, having a cup of coffee. You ask some of them to help you to put those words, to
address
the cards and send them out. If you are traveling, you have to have a list, list and itinerary, stuff like that, against set priorities and execute
if you are
them.
taking days off,
it's very important.
Know how many days you are taking and how much you can do while you're taking those days off.
Correct.
Especially if you have a family, because it's like dealing with the holidays, alone, it's something.
Yep.
But dealing with the holidays as a family, it's a different ball game.
It's a lot. You have some time to delegate and also be flexible. Things can swing around. You don't have to stick to one thing. That's why your to-do list can help you to switch things from what is priority, what is urgent, what is non-urgent, what is necessary, and what is important. You can just go around.
And be able to make the difference between your needs and your wants.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, holidays coping skills. I have 10, good hobbies I get from that thing that's going to share with my, they are very good, hobbies. I got it from the unsui.com. It's the 10 best hobbies for people with anxiety, right? To calm down instantly. First thing first, journaling, right? So write expressively, putting down on papers what's happening in your mind. When you put them down, you will notice that as you put them down, and it's like you are clearing your mind. You are removing the stuff from your mind on the paper. That will help you also to solve that one.
It's like your punching bag.
You got that. So, and also, if you love music, listen to calming music. Relaxing music also can help you great deal during this holiday season, especially when you are very stressed out. And read empowering books.
So any type of music, holidays music.
It
depends based on your taste.
Your taste, and also remember there are some music that are meant to soothe you down. Relaxing music, they are meant for that, right?
And gospel music as well.
It all depends. Yeah, gospel music and things that is music that really uplift your spirit, put it that way.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And read empowering books if you like to read. Reading can reduce stress by up to 68%, right? So this is a highly effective hobby for people suffering from stress and anxiety. Readings, And also I always recommend readings when you have insomnia, for instance. So if you cannot sleep, instead of playing with your phone, that will again make it worse. So you can take a book, you begin to read, and before you know it, that will bring you back to sleep again. And again, if you love animals, I do love animals, but not the way I see things happening around here. If you have a cat or a dog, for instance, you can play with them. That will help you also to soothe yourself down.
Yeah,
And
dogs tend to be,
men best
very important, men best friend, but
yes,
on a therapeutic level, it's
yes,
very useful.
correct, correct. And also, what we can do, go for walks. By the way, I was reading yesterday, research from conducted in Australia University. It is said that walking outside for at least 30 minutes a day is 1.5 better than any medication for anxiety or depression. 1.5 better than any medication for anxiety or depression. So being in nature, it's like you are engaging all these senses. In a sense, it's just like
And
grounding
it's a
techniques.
form of exercise as well.
Correct. It's like grounding technique in the sense that you are engaging all the senses, right? The eyes, the ears, all these things together. So the motor skills, they are very important in decreasing anxiety. Now the funny one, dance in your home. It's like you're not crazy. If you feel stressed out, man, you can close your door, you blast the music, you begin to dance as much as you can.
And you know what? You will benefit
It's a
two
cardio.
times.
It's a cardio.
From it.
Of course.
Not only you get to release the stress, the anxiety, but you get to burn some
Oh
calories
man,
as
it's
well.
a cardio work right there, right? So dancing is a great way to decrease your anxiety and around this holiday. And also, if you like to cook, man, it's the best time to cook. Cook enjoyable meals, right? Cook what you like. You can name all the food ingredients that you want to, and cook enjoyable meals. That also with another way to decrease your anxiety.
And don't eat it all by yourself.
Well, but you have to eat anyway. So do something good. Remember in your plan you have to include yourself during this holiday. Treat yourself, right?
But if I cook and eat it all by myself, I'm not gonna do it for only one day. If I kept on doing that before even knowing what I'm trying to do, Father Rigaud, is not to put the weight on me only. Misery love company.
I know.
I
But
want to share the weight with somebody else.
I know. But cooking, in a sense that it's a good hobby, by the way. It gives you a chance of being in the moment. Remember what happened with anxiety. It keeps you in the future. But you can't cook thinking about what happened tomorrow. You have to be in the moment. So cooking is a way that it keeps you in the here and now by focusing on what you are doing, and then you will again take control of the body itself, right? So cooking is a good thing to lower your anxiety. And we have watch inspiring movies, right? Movies are those who love movies, yeah. Again, that requires concentration, right? You have to focus, and then that will inspire you. You will be laughing. You will be, and sharing the tears and joy at the same time. That can also help you a great deal, during these holidays to take ownership of your anxiety. And last, not the least, create beautiful pictures. If you like to paint, right? It's a time to do, drawing stuff. That also can decrease your anxiety. The point is, mindfulness in general keeps you in the moment. That's what we are trying to do by giving you all these assignments, is a way to keep you right here and now in the moment.
Very important. One thing that I would like to mention, or one more question, if I may put it that way, church related. I know it's early, for Christmas, but how the church, plan to get involved this year into helping people celebrate the holiday seasons, both, the way that it's supposed to be spiritually and commercially?
Yeah, so in the church we don't do commercial, but we do the spiritual aspect of it. That's why today at 5 p.m. We're going to open the Advent season, which is a 4
What
weeks.
I meant by commercial, sorry to cut you off, what I meant by commercial, you still get involved into getting people gifts.
Oh, we invite our parishioners, of course, to bring whatever they have in the spirit of sharing. Christmas celebration, right? So we try to reach out to those who are less fortunate in our community, so that nobody will go without anything during this seasons, right? But spiritually, we are preparing them to encounter Emmanuel. This is Christ, who is the second person of the Trinity, whose historical birth changed, the world upside down. That's why we are celebrating not a holiday for us. We are celebrating the birthday of Christ, who became man to dwell among us. And that celebration is so important. The church gives them 4 weeks to reflect upon the meaning of Christmas. From tomorrow, even today, even at the Vigil Mass, until the 24th of December, we are preparing our parishioners spiritually to celebrate Christmas. And again, in that spirit of celebration, you don't have to be alone. Again, finding a church or a community also is another great way to connect, socially and spiritually as well. Whether you are Christians, or you are Jewish community, or my African Americans descent who are celebrating the Kwanzaa, is another way to reconnect with one another during this holiday season.
It is very important,
Extremely important.
And it's doable.
Yeah, that's why we encourage that, don't be alone, because isolation is not the best thing. It is so detrimental to yourself and to others at the same time.
Yes.
Reach out to others, being connected. These are the spirit of these holidays. Whether it is Christmas, it is Kwanzaa, it is Hanukkah. Connection, building up the network, so that together we'll be in the spirit, of this as we come to the end of this new year. And also another thing I would like to add. Sometimes we have so many resolutions, plans, but that we have so many plans, but they are so vague. After 2 weeks, we get overwhelmed with them. And I encourage all my viewers right now to really have a plan. Plan that is very smart, specific, measurable, reliable, and also within time bound. So let's say that people have great expectations, but they raise the bar so high for themselves, they can't even meet the expectations, and they drop again to frustrations.
Yeah, and I always tell my clients, it's important to have goals, but while you're having goals, you have to have a plan.
Correct.
Because goals without plan,
It's not goal.
it's just a wish.
Yes.
You cannot be sitting there and keep on wishing, okay, I want to lose weight. But what are the plans
Correct.
that I'm going to put together, I'm going to walk around to lose the few pounds that I want to drop?
Correct. So the plans, now in a sense, is the roadmap leading to the goals itself, right?
Exactly.
That would navigate you to achieve your goals, And the goals without objectives also, they are not goals, because you have to have goals and objective within a solid plan to achieve really, to meet your expectations.
Exactly. And focus.
Very important.
Determination.
And discipline at the same
And
time.
discipline. You need all of that.
All right.
Anything else?
I think what if I want to say is I'm wishing everyone a safe, wonderful holiday celebrations, and they don't have to be alone again. If they ever had some issues dealing with family members and friends, maybe not able to meet the expectations, that might lead them to anxiety or depressions, just want them to know that they should not go through it alone. We are there to assist them.
And you know one thing, Father, the beauty of it, the holidays come and go every year.
Every year. It's just,
You know, whatever that I missed this year,
can make
if
it,
I was not able to celebrate and be with you this year, I
make it
can
next
be
year.
with you next year.
Correct.
So that's why we have plenty of reasons not to
Correct.
stress ourselves.
Correct. And be in the spirit of these holidays
Yes.
and
yes,
find the
indeed.
joy
Find the joy.
and enjoy.
You know, and if you have the financial means to spend the money to buy things that you think that can make you happy, by all means, you know, spend it. But if you don't have it, don't stress yourself. Don't go and borrow from people just to buy gifts for other people. No, don't do it. You don't have it, you don't have it. Everybody will be all right.
They should. And also another thing, when it comes to expectations, joy and happiness, they cannot be found in stuff. They must be found within themselves. You know, and most importantly for us Christians, we know what that source is God. So it comes from within us through our God, and this is why we have to focus not on consumerism stuff, but on the meaning.
To that I say amen.
To the meaning of these holidays themselves.
Okay, so before we wrap up, so you have some resources that you want to leave us with?
Oh yes, we have some resources for our viewers, which I'm going to...
For those who are watching or listening?
You can just upload for them so that they can do some research on them. We have a couple of them here.
Okay, so you want me to read them out loud for you, Father? The first one we have Coping with Holidays Survival Guide. So just go online and Google it so you will read the information online. And we also have the National Alliance on Mental Illness. The helpline or the number to call is 1-800-950-6264. 1-800-950-6264. We also have Depression and Anxiety Association of America. The number to reach out is 240-485-1001. 240-485-1001. And the last one is the National Institute of Mental Health. The number to reach out is 866-615-6464. Once more, 866-615-6464. It was a pleasure to have everybody listening or watching. Remember to subscribe. Remember to leave a comment. And of that said, I'll see you next time. It was with you, Dr. Beatrice Hippolyte, with your world.